Hi guys, welcome to a fun little video where I ask myself what the fuck Warner Bros. Is doing with DC and with its own properties, because clearly they do not know how to fucking care for their stuff. Right, let's start. Okay, so this will not be a video like, is Marvel Phase 4 failing the franchise, or is Marvel better than DC? But let's just say, yeah, they are. And I'm not just saying that from a factual standpoint, because everyone can make up their own opinion on the fact that Marvel or DC movies are better, but I just want to say that in the way of creating a universe and in the way of handling their fucking movies, Marvel is just way better than DC. Disney is just way better than Warner Bros. Will ever be. Because every time I trust Warner Bros. And DC with a property or with something that they can do, they just stomp their head right in. Let's just start with the obvious fact. And for people who know me longer and people who watch my videos for a very long time, ever since Avengers Endgame ended and the MCU was kind of done and they had to start over, which they did, which is not that popular as this Skywalker saga, as the Infinity Saga ever was. Phase 4 is getting a lot of backlash. I always said from the beginning that DC could now stand up, fill in the void, and become the best and greatest franchise in the world, especially on a cinematic level. But ever since I said that statement, they did not only fuck up even worse, they made everything worse. Let's just start with the obvious DC mistakes from the past. It's obviously DC. It was making Man of Steel, aka Iron Man, then going on to Civil War, Batman v Superman, to then go on to Avengers Infinity War with the Justice League movie, which obviously failed. They also made like their silly, very, very bad Suicide Squad, and it all felt so bad and not good. The movies in and of itself weren't the most awful. I mean, even Justice League had some fun moments. The only real nightmare among those movies is Suicide Squad, which I don't want to talk about. But they didn't do it well then. But then came Aquaman, then came Shazam, then came Wonder Woman. And it was all pretty great. And it was all pretty good. And I had hope for DC. And whenever I saw what they were trying to do with the future and what they announced, like a Blue Beetle, like a Batgirl, like everything else, and gotta say, it all turned out for the better. I thought like, hey, this could be something. They can make this work and actually get it right. They announced a Flash movie with the Flashpoint paradox interwoven in its story for 2019 or 2020. It's now 2022. It's gonna be 2023, and I don't think we will ever see that movie because the fucking main cast star is in prison or fleeing from the cops every single day because it's just a damn criminal. And not only DC, but Warner Bros. I mean, just Harry Potter. You had Johnny Depp. You fired him. He was no criminal. Ezra Miller is. Why isn't he fired yet? It's just so, oh my god. Every time I trust DC and I trust whatever Warner Bros. Is trying to do, they always do it worse. Crimes of Grindelwald wasn't the best. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore was a step up. But it's probably the end of the franchise. I mean, they made a lot of mistakes with that one, and you should be sorry, Warner Bros. But then came the news that you were gonna make a Batgirl movie, that you were gonna make a movie about the Flash, and it's gonna be great, and Michael Keaton was coming back, and Aquaman 2: The Lost Kingdom, we gotta get Ben Affleck back, and it's all interesting. But then Comic-Con 2022 came, and when Marvel announced like their entire new saga and their new Endgame level event, which is gonna get people more hyped about Marvel than DC, DC came right before and only announced 2 movies that are coming this year. It's not the way to go, man. But the fact I wanted to make this video other than just shitting on DC... Wait, before I go on and before I talk about Batgirl and that fiasco, I just want to say, I still like DC. I love what they are doing with some of their projects. But can you please stop trying to make a cinematic universe? The Batman was the best superhero movie of the year. Joker was one of the best superhero movies of that year. It wasn't even a superhero movie. It was like a villain movie made into an art house movie, made into a blockbuster. And it worked out for the best. And whatever Warner Bros. Decides to do that, even with DC, the League of Super Pets, it's not connected, but it works. And that's why it works, because they are not trying to force a cinematic universe into it. They're just doing their own thing. That works. So Warner Bros., why did you cancel Batgirl? It was going to be part of the DCEU, but it was going to be an HBO Max original. Wasn't happy with that, but I gotta say I was interested because they could go another route with it. Then you had the Justice League. You fired Henry Cavill. You didn't announce his return. You have Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, which is under fire because of some statements she made. Ben Affleck, you got his ass fired, and then got him back, and now he's in Aquaman 2, so it's not sure what you're gonna do with that. Ray Parker, or Cyborg, or the guy who did that, I mean, he was nice, but he probably doesn't want to work with you anymore because you liked Joss Whedon that much. Then you have Ezra Miller. Should we get started on Ezra Miller? I mean, I don't think we should. And then you have Jason Momoa, and that is like the only good part you have left from that Justice League. So what went wrong? I want to know who's on top of Warner Bros. And the recent merger of Warner Bros. With Discovery to create Warner Bros. Discovery. Who's on top and who makes these decisions? Because canceling Batgirl after 90% of the movie is completed, after the movie cost $90 million, it's just a dumb move. I mean, I get you want to go back to major theatrical releases. I get that. And stopping HBO Max or whatever you're trying to do with that, I kind of get that. I mean, not everyone wants HBO Max and it's not as popular as you hoped. But you were still doing some great things on that. I mean, that certain Game of Thrones prequel, sequel thingy that you're doing is also on HBO Max. Peacemaker was on HBO Max. That all worked out. So why not Batgirl? What is happening with Batgirl? Camera fell out. So what did you do with Batgirl? What happened to Batgirl? I mean, every given explanation for the cancellation of Batgirl, I can completely get behind. You want to focus on theatrical releases more? Great. You want to focus on major theatrical releases? Great. You want to step away from the whole HBO Max and other stuff thing? Great. The only thing I do not understand, apart from every logical explanation, is the logical explanation. Because the movie was finished, it's in its editing stage. You cancel it then, it already cost you $90 million. There is no possible way for you to redeem this. Why? What happened? I mean, if I was the boss from Warner Bros. Discovery, I come into office today, hey, we're gonna make major movie releases again, and we're gonna do it fine, and we're gonna do it the way it's intended, the way we ought to do it, the way it's supposed to be, the way we beat every other studio in the world. So let's cancel Batgirl. But why should we cancel Batgirl? I mean, it already cost us $90 million. No, we should cancel it. No, we shouldn't. Why not? Because it already cost us $90 million. I mean, there's already way too much money in it. But I don't want it to be released. I don't want it to be part of our schedule. So then let's just release it quietly. Let's just release it onto HBO Max. Never talk about it again. Let the people have their movie. And most importantly, respect the cast and the crew that made Batgirl possible. Adil El Arbi, Bilal Fallah, Leslie Grace, J.K. Simmons, Michael Keaton, Brandon Fraser, and every other single cast and crew member that worked hourlessly, monthly, weekly on that movie to make it happen. Let's just release it online so they can be happy, the fans can be happy, and we do not come over as complete dorks. No, should be cancelled! I mean, whenever that merger was announced for Warner Bros. And Discovery, I thought it was fine. But after pulling shite like this, and it's not only DC, they'll cancel like 5 or 6 movies from HBO Max. There are rumors that HBO Max is gonna stop and is gonna get pulled from the bun. I mean, why are you even trying? What is happening? Why is everyone so dumb there? Why so disrespectful to everyone involved in the making of Batgirl and those countless other movies that you have made over the past few years? Thank you for watching.